Please welcome to the stage, very funny Sunil Prasad.
What's up? What's up? Anybody in relationships, like new relationships, still on that new love stage? Yeah. See, I was in a relationship that was a new love for way too fucking long. Like, she would ask to share the weirdest shit. Like, we go out to eat, and I'm skinny. You can look at me, you can see I'm skinny. But I'm a fat kid at heart. So, if we all go into a buffet, we can't really share shit. Like, we all gonna order 10 wings and split them. Like, I really wish they had an odd number of wings that I could order just so I can have one more than her. Because, like, the shit really fucked me up. And she just always asked to share weird shit. Like, one time she came over, we were taking a shower. Like, I don't know if y'all think it's not manly to use Q-tips, but I use Q-tips to clean my ear. And I used one side of the Q-tip, and she looked at me, and she's like, are you gonna share that? I was like, what the fuck? Did you want us to share my Q-tip? She was like, yeah, I mean, we're in a relationship, everything should be equal, we should share. The thing that fucked me up the most is she would like to bring money, but see, me being the guy in a relationship, I like to carry a lot of money because I don't want the girl to look like she's paying for stuff. But I would really appreciate it if she would pay for some shit because I only work a couple hours every week, so it didn't help me out. Like, I can't do this shit for so long. And she would put her money in my wallet, and she'd be like, it's our money now. Like, what the fuck? I was like, how does this shit work? We didn't sign any like prenuptial agreements or shit like that. Like, this shit doesn't get split 50-50. This is all mine. You put $20 in with another $200. $200 is still mine. And it really fucked me up for a long time because I could never have anything to myself. Like, anywhere we go, even at cookouts, we fix one plate. Like, I would start fixing my plate and she would just walk behind me, like ducks in a row. As we sit there, some of this, some of this. So I try to take double of everything, but then I run out of room and she won't carry another plate because it doesn't look like we're sharing. So she would share everything. And when it would come out to the last one, she'd say, do you want it? And of course I fucking want it, but I can't say I want it. So I'm like, you know what, if you really want it, you can have it because I care about you. And she's like, no, you can have it, so I eat the shit out of it. And then she looked at me, she's like, what the fuck, you are such an asshole. You can split it. I was like, you want me to split a drumstick? You can't split if it was a big ass Bojangles drumstick, you can split a drumstick. We ain't splitting one of the Sam's Club microwave wing drumsticks. That's for me. You can have something else. And see, with new love, it comes a lot of new gift buying. And see, with gift givers, you got 3 types of gift givers. You got regular gift givers, they just give you your stuff that's in here. Hope you enjoy it. You got the explanation gift givers, where they have a story behind whatever they bought you. And then you got the backhand gift givers. The ones that insult your old shit before they give you some new shit. And that shit really pissed me off because she wasn't just a here, I hope you like it. She was an explanation backhand gift giver. So she would always insult my shit or she'd have a long explanation. Like me, I'm a smaller guy, but I don't like to wear tight ass shirts. So she knew I liked Famous Stars and Straps. This was a different time in my life. I was in high school, going to college, I liked Famous Stars and Straps. And she bought it, and so she was like, I know I got it in small, and you usually wear a medium, but see, it was the only one, and I didn't see anybody else around Greenville with it on, and it was the only one left. So in my mind, I'm like, how the fuck do you think there's only one shirt left if nobody else in Greenville has it? Wouldn't everybody else have to buy other sizes and have the same shirt as me? And she's like, and that really stumped her. But a lot of her backhand gift giving, like, really fucked me up, because she would try to blame me. Like, she bought me some boxers one time, and I was extremely insulted by this shit. Because you don't ever tell a man that they look small, so you bought them because they look smaller than the size you normally wear. Because she fucked me up. So I wore a size small waist. That's the 28 to 30 for y'all who want to measure in inches. So 28 to 30 size weight in boxers. And I was like, okay, that's very nice of you. They look comfortable, they feel kind of comfortable. But then she went into the explanation. She's like, well, I got them in a medium because you usually wear small, and I know that sometimes the small ones are a little bit tight for you because you get a little bit more chubby. And I'm like, the fuck? She called me chubby, and then she tried to call me small at the same time. So she like really contradicted the shit out of herself. Because she got the mediums because they were smaller than the smalls. So I was like, I really don't know how to take this. But the best one ever was, I should have worn a chain that I actually got. It was it's like a coming to man ceremony in Hindu culture. It's called a janeo. And like your family, relatives, they give you a lot of jewelry and stuff. So I was glad I got this chain, so I wore it proudly. I wore it out all over the place. And she would always look at the chain, like we were out eyeballing and shit, and my birthday was coming up. So finally she bought me the chain. And I was like, okay, that's nice of you. But she didn't just, like I reached for the chain to put it on, and she's like, no, I want to put it on you. I was like, okay, and she was describing it. She's like, well, I got this chain, and it's 24 inches, and I know it's a lot bigger than the other chain, so you might have to shift it to make a little bit of room for it. And I was mad as shit, because that's a present from my aunt. Like, she gave me back with love. Like, you just some bitch I met like a couple weeks ago. You just trying to show off. And she was putting it on, and then she realized that the 24-inch chain was a lot shorter than the 36-inch chain, and she shut the fuck up. Like, she went from a glorious, happy moment in her life to like being mad as hell. Like, she got mad that she bought the gift in the first place. And the whole time, like, if y'all have come to see my earlier stand-up, like when girls do stuff, and I don't really care to hear it, I sing a lot of songs in my head. So if y'all can remember, back in the day, they had a song, "Do Your Chain Hang Low," and that was the song playing in my head the whole time. And she couldn't like really muster anything to kind of counter that. But another thing too is, prior to getting into relationships, you got to go around, meet a lot of girls. So I've been cock-blocked quite a few times in my life. I don't really appreciate it. I don't know what girls call it, snatch swatting or whatever it is, but I don't appreciate it. And like, it makes it even worse, because girls who cock-block you are worse than guys. Like, a guy will come over, say some stupid shit and try to take the shit. The girl will just be jealous and try to make the girl run away. The worst time I've ever been cock-blocked was one day, I worked at Dick's Sporting Goods, so this girl came in, and she was bad as hell. Like, I swear I've seen her somewhere else, but I can't really approach her because I look like a creep if I try to bring some shit up that happened a year ago. But she came in, it was wintertime, she was looking for a coat, and like, I hate girls with smooth shit. Like, I don't like to be too blunt about it, I do some incognito type shit. So she was like trying on the coat, and I was like, you need help with anything, man? And she's like, oh, you don't have to call me, man. And I was like, okay, did you find everything all right? She's like, yeah. So I started to walk away, and then she's like, wait 1 second. I was like, yes. So I went back over, and she's like, I'm trying to decide on the coat, and see, I tried to determine her age, so I was like, do you need a coat for high school, or when you're walking around on campus? And see, she said on campus, so at that point in time, I was like, all right, that's one check, she's good to go. And then, after that, she was like, well, which one do you think looks better? And she tried on one, and she tried on the other one. And see me, like girls, if they just want to see how you look, want to see how you think coat looks on them, they'll just show you from the front. But she did like the 360, like she did the front one, and then she turned around, and she did like, see the little pose like that, with the girl sticking her ass up on the shirt? She did like that. And so I was like, oh shit, I'm about to get it. And she was like, and she caught me looking, and she smiled and laughed. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I was like, but wouldn't you rather have me take a picture, and you can send it to your boyfriend so you can know which one looks better? And she's like, oh, I don't have a boyfriend. And at this moment in time, the whole time, the entire store's been calling me on walkie, but I just ignored shit. I just turned the walkie down and kept it working. I kept working how I wanted to work, not working how they wanted me to work. So then one of the girls comes up, taps me on the shoulder. She's like, excuse me, Snell, can you come help us fold these shirts? So I was like, okay. I was like, I'll get back to you in a little bit. So I walk away, and she waves goodbye and walks out of the store, and I get back there, and they got 3 motherfucking shirts with 5 people standing around them. How you gonna have 6 motherfuckers holding 3 shirts? That shit fucked me up. Thanks, y'all have been great. Thanks for coming out, supporting comedy. Y'all are great.